Let's make some Christmas DIYs with free wood that I got from Home Depot. All right, so you get these like in the cutting station, like they're just scraps. I don't know if you'll get these pieces, but you can get like free wood there. This is like kind of like a pole, but it has like a flat side on one side. So you can just probably buy the whole thing and then cut it down to the size that you want to. But I'm just gonna use two of them right now. I have another idea for the other one. I'm just gonna take and sand off some of the rough parts at the top and the bottom there, and then I'm going to paint one white, and then I'm going to paint one like a chestnut brown. For the white one I had to end up using two coats, and I painted around all the sides and the top. You don't really need to do the top for the white one because it's a snowman and it has a hat on it, but for the reindeer one, definitely do the top. And then I have these little like stems that I got from Dollar Tree. They like the florals, the faux florals, and when you pop those off, what that is what was left of it. But you can also use like little berries like I have there. But I'm going to use these because I think they'll make cute antlers. And then I'm just going to paint those a darker brown. Then I paint the other one. And then also I got this fabric from Dollar Tree. So it's like the buffalo check print. And we're going to use it on both pieces so that they go together. So I'm just going to take and cut a little strip. It's cotton. So if you just put a little snip in it and tear it, it'll cut you a straight line. So you don't have to worry about making a straight line. And then this is enough to make the scarf for the snowman and for the reindeer too for the bow. For the hat, I had different thoughts. I thought about making a knit hat, and I was going to make it with the sleeve right here, but you can also use like a baby sock or something like that. And then for the reindeer face, I thought about using these little eyeballs. You get these packs at Dollar Tree, using two eyeballs. And then for the nose, I was going to paint one of the bigger ones red, but it was kind of giving me like a bear look. I don't know. So I have this egg. It's like from a leftover from another season. And I'm just going to paint that red. So it's just like a little wood circle. So you can get that anywhere. And then I sketched out a face. And you can do your face a bunch of different ways. But I sketched out a face. And then I'm just going to fill it in with some black paint. I'm using the tip of a skewer to do the lines on this because it's like a nice thin piece and it works out well. So once I was done with the main part of the face and I painted the nose red, I made sure I had enough for the scarf for the snowman, and then I'm just going to take and make a bow for the reindeer. So I'm just going to cut two different size pieces. So one is bigger than the other one, but I don't want the bow to be too big so that it overwhelms the reindeer. So I just want it just a little bit bigger than the pole that is there, if that makes sense. So I cut two pieces like that, and then I'm going to add some twine, and then this striped ribbon that I have here, I cut a few pieces of those, and I made just like a little rough bow there, and then I wrapped that together with twine to close that off. I left the tails on that so that it just added to the other tails that was there. I stacked everything together and then wrapped again with the ribbon there, and then I glued on the nose, and I think that's super cute. And then I glued on the little antlers that I made from the faux florals there, and then I put the bow on top of that. So that is it. It's just like so simple to make the little reindeer. I'm going to go back and add in different little details, and then I did basically the same thing with the snowman. I sketched it out, and then I drew it out with the skewer and the black paint, put on the little scarf there. And then for the middle of the little buttons there, I'm just going to add these little beads. You just glue those on. And then I went to decide for the hat. They have these packs of hats at Dollar Tree. They were too little though. And so I'm going to use this ornament that is from Dollar Tree, but I want the hat to be on, not just sitting on top. So I opened it up, cut out the styrofoam that was in there. So just like, hollowed it out. And then once I got it the right size to fit on top of there, I cut a circle in the bottom of the brim of the hat. So I just cut it open, and then you can just glue it all back together because I had to take it apart. So you can glue it all back together, and make sure you glue all layers because it does have layers to it. Glued that onto the snowman, and that was it for that. And then again, I'm going to come back in and fill in. So I put in the nose, I put the little white details in the eyes, and then this is how they came out. And they were so cute and just simple. And I made them with free wood from Home Depot. If you like, give it a big thumbs up. Another super easy Christmas in July DIY. I love the little wood pieces. Okay, so I have this piece from Michael's that broke, and then I have a wood shim, and then I have this wood block from Michael's also. You can get a lot of these at Dollar Tree though, but they were like $1. So I got them from Michael's. I'm gonna paint the wood block snow white. I'm just going to give it one coat. You can give it a couple of coats if you want it to have full coverage, but I like a little bit of the wood to peek through. I painted around all the sides, the front, the back. The only part you really don't have to worry about is the bottom because it will be standing on the bottom, but you could also go ahead and paint the bottom too. Once I was done with that, I just put that to the side to dry after I got, or like I said, around all of the others. And then I painted the wood shim again, just with one coat because I wanted the grain in the wood to kind of show through. And then I painted the back of the little chalkboard like piece thing that broke that I got from Michael's too, just in case you see the back. I sketched out the face off camera, but just to show you, you can just eyeball it. I'm not the best drawer. I drew the eyes with the little, white circles in the middle, in the sides there. I drew the nose for the little carrot nose, and then I sketched out just a cute little smiley face. It does not have to be perfect. You can cut it with your Cricut if you want something nice and perfect, but it's all right if it looks a little rough. I took this orange paint and I went in and I just again went into that line that I did draw. I did come back in with a smaller paintbrush because that one was too thick to really get around into all of the details. I did the same thing with the eyes, just painting in. It was kind of hard to do it holding it up for the camera and then doing it with one hand. So mine did come out a little bit sloppy, but that is okay because it is supposed to look imperfect. So it worked out just fine. But for this, I just gave it one coat too, just going around all of it. I did go back and give a second coat on the nose because I did want it to be just really pretty and bright. But once I was done with that, I glued on the wood shim, just kind of like on a little bit of an angle, but I wanted, every piece to touch the wood block so it could be glued to there. Held that in place until that locked in, and then I glued the chalkboard like piece onto that. So I glued it to the back of the wood shim and to the bottom or the top of the wood block there, and then held that for a little bit too till everything dried in place. And then you flip it over and you can leave it just like that. I decided to give the snowman just a little bit of rosy cheeks. I didn't realize the black paint wasn't dry. But I went in just a little couple dabs of the red and then swished it around before it dried. And then that's when I realized the black paint had not fully dried, but that was okay. But if you're going to do that, you want to do it quickly before the paint does dry. I just used a regular red paint to do that. I touched up where the black paint had smudged into there and then went over it again just to fill it in. I decided to add some greenery to the hat. I just put that on there with hot glue, just pieces from the Dollar Tree. And that is how it turned out. Hope you enjoyed. If you like, follow for more fun DIYs. An easy rag tree. Okay, so I'm going to be using these foam dice from Dollar Tree. I have 3 of them. I'm going to paint them white. And then this is how they look. I poked a hole in them with a wood skewer that you can also get from Dollar Tree. They come in a pack because we're going to be using that to do the rag tree. So first I'm taking these beads. You don't have to do this part, but it looks cute when you have something at the base. But the tree kind of does cover it too at the same time. So you can skip this if you want. But I'm just going to take 2 small and 1 larger one and just put those on there at the bottom and then place that in the stick. You can glue it to make sure it's a little more secure if you want, but if you shove it down in there real good, you should be good. And then for the rag tree, it's just as simple as that. It is what is called a rag tree. So you just take scraps of fabric and you can cut them into whichever length you want. Mine were about I didn't even measure them, maybe 4 or 5 inches. They weren't that big. And I just cut them into little strips. And then I did this ribbon, this red ribbon that I had from last Christmas. I did like kind of a khaki material that I had in my fabric scraps, and then just a white cotton material. But you can use any fabric you want. Some nice fun prints would be nice, but you're just going to tie them. just like that. And that is it. That is simple. The stiffer the fabric, the more you'll be able to play with it. The looser the fabric, the more that it will fall down. But it is just as simple as that. And I'm just stacking them on top of each other. I went back in with mine and made mine a little bit fuller at the bottom, but you can do this right here at this point. But I just wanted to see, play around with it, because this is my first rag tree, and see how I liked it. So I alternated between the red, the khaki color, like the brown, and the white. And then like I said, I went back in after I was finished with that, and then I kind of filled in a little bit, not too much, because I didn't want it too bulky at the bottom, but it's just that simple. It's really, really easy to do. And like I said, you can do this with scraps that you have. Dollar Tree does sell like fabric squares and other crafting fabric and stuff. And I'm wondering, I haven't seen any yet, if they'll have some out for the holiday. I have these foam bowls. I've worked with them a lot. I got a big box from Amazon, but you can find like craft bowls like this at Dollar Tree or Michael's or Hobby Lobby or someplace. But I took 3 different size ones, and I'm just going to make a little snowman, real simple, just poking a hole in them with the wood skewer from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to put some glue in here just to make sure the snowman stays in place, and just glue them together. You really shouldn't have an issue with this, but because I wasn't putting any hat or anything like that on top of the snowman, I didn't want them to lift apart. And then now I have these wood letters. Could not find an O in my pack. I think I must have used the O. I don't recall using the O. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to use the Q. It's really easy. Just cut off the little pieces for that. And for the inside, I had to use a razor and just score it until it went down so I can just break it. And then I just sanded it a little bit. And now I have all the letters that I need. I painted those with one coat of red on the sides and in the front, then let that dry. Then I glued those to the front of the little foam dice. You can get wood blocks from Dollar Tree too, but then you have to drill holes in them. So that's just really it for that. So I made 2 different size snowmen, trimmed down the tree, and then I'm gonna give them little scarves. I thought about giving them faces, but I said they really don't need it because it's like really simple and they're really small. But I don't know. Should I have did faces? I don't know. But I left them without faces. I just glued down their little scars. So I just took some red ribbon, and then I was gonna draw on or paint on their little buttons, but I decided to use these little like bowl pieces that you can get too from Dollar Tree. They come like in a big pack. And then for the top of the tree, again, I'm going to use some of the little beads. You can decorate your tree too. You can put little bells on it, little, like, like you would decorate a tree. But I just left mine as is. But I put the little beads on top of there. I put 2, I glued those down too, because that is the top. I didn't want that to come off. And then I used the wood stars from Dollar Tree. I didn't paint it. I just left it as is because I thought the wood complemented it really nice. I glued that into place, and then this is how it came out. If you like, make sure to give it a thumbs up and follow for more fun and easy DIYs. If you like, please give it a big old thumbs up. All right, now for this one, this is just a wreath. So we're just going to really be doing like a half and half. You can get wreath forms from Dollar Tree in a ton of different sizes. I have this garland. I got mine from Hobby Lobby, but you can get or Michael's, but you can get garland from Dollar Tree too. I wrapped it around real simple. Didn't have to do anything because it has like that wire in it, and just tucked it. And then I'm just going to take some ornaments and I'm going to attach them to the reform with the little pieces here. You can do them in bunches like that. You can do them singular. You can mix it up. You can do whatever colors you want. You can fill in the little gaps there, and you can decorate your garland like I did mine. I just put a few little berries in there and stuff. And this is how it came out. I did go and put a little bit of garland in the top part just to help fill in. But that's how that came out. So easy, so simple. A easy centerpiece. These first ones are all going to be really just my colors last year. So an easy centerpiece. I have this little Lazy Susan from Target Dollar Spot. So that costs about $5. And I'm just going to take some foam from Dollar Tree. And you can fill the whole bottom with the foam, or you can just fill a little bit just to help raise it up. I'm going to be taking this ribbon, and I'm just going to weave it in and out of those lines on the Lazy Susan, and then wrap them around kind of to cover them up. So you can just do and layer just all around the outside, give it a little dab of glue, and that'll cover it up too. But this has like that movement to it. And then I'm just filling in the bowl. I raised the little candle holder that I also got from Dollar Tree up, and this is how that one came out. So easy, so pretty, and I love a good centerpiece, and you can always customize them to fit your decor. This is Dollar Tree has a ton of these pretty beaded rings now, so you can pop them off if you don't want to use them that way, but they have them stained, they have them natural like this. I'm leaving mine just like it is, natural, and then I'm going to take some ribbon and make a little bow. So I made a big size, a medium size, and a small size one, and then I stack those on top of each other. If you're good at bow making, you can make a different kind of bow. I took that and put it. Oh, okay, I can't think. I took it and put it to the beads, and then I just put some little garnish on it with some hot glue, and that is it. So easy, so simple. Kind of gives you that boho feel too. So I love a good. Let's make some easy, fun Christmas decor using items from Dollar Tree. All right, so I have this set. It comes in three. They're about an inch and a half of these like little wood dice. You can see they have like kind of that shape of a dice. But we're going to use these to make a little snowman. They do have bigger blocks if you want to make a bigger one, but this would be cute for like if you're decorating a tier tray or something like that. So I'm going to give it a couple of coats of paint with this white paint. I'm going to paint around all of the sides, the top, the bottom, all of it. You're going to be putting it together, but if you wanted to leave it apart, that's why I'm painting it around all the sides, because I hadn't yet decided if I wanted to leave it apart or not. So this is how it looks with one coat. And then I came back in and I did a second coat. I was thinking about distressing it, just giving it a little bit of distressing, but I didn't do that. So once everything dries, then you can take and start to decorate it. So first, I'm going to put the hat together. I did want to use one of the little straw hats. Dollar Tree has like little straw hats for the fall. I thought I had an extra one. I didn't. So I'm going to make one out of these Jenga blocks and then these wooden cubes from Dollar Tree. I'm taking 8 of the cubes and stacking those up. I was going to use this little stamp here because I don't use those, but it was just a little bit too small, even though this is not super big the way I put the cubes together, but it worked out. So I'm gluing 3 of the Jenga blocks together and then letting those dry. You can use wood glue on this too, but hot glue if you wanted to just snap right away, get it together. And then I'm doing the little wood cubes. So first I put down a base of 4. I did push it closer towards the front or wherever I wanted the front to be of the hat. And then I stacked 4 more on top of there, glued that all together. And then this is how it looks. So he has a cute little hat, and you can see it's pushed towards more of where I have it for the front. And then I gave it a coat of black paint. I painted on the top and on the bottom around all the sides and in all the cracks for this right here. I put that to the side when I was done and let that dry. And now I'm going to work on the face. I have my little wood skewer. You can draw this with a pen, a Sharpie, or something like that. But I'm just going to take and dip the pointy end of the wood skewer in the paint there. And then I'm just going to draw just a little face. Depending on how much paint you put on it, depending on how much thickness you'll get. So I made a little mouth. We're going to do like a little open mouth. And then I'm going to put a little tongue in there later. So it's like a little smile there. And then I'm going to just do the eyes. It's going to have closed little eyes, and you can see I dipped in the paint thick there, so those are thicker right there, the eyes. And then I'm just going to draw like a little freestyle oh my gosh, I can't think. Carrot nose. I'm gonna draw a little freestyle carrot nose right there. And then you can touch up the pieces. But like I said, you can do this with a Sharpie if you don't want to use paint. Just, you want it to be just a little bit vibrant. I find the paint just gives it a little bit of vibrance. The Sharpie does work well, but it's just not as vibrant. I'm giving them a little bit of eyelashes here, so you can tell those are eyes, but you can do it without doing the eyelashes. You can do the face in so many cute little different ways. You can go on Pinterest and get some ideas if you want to do a little different face. And then once that dried, like I said, I'm going to come in and I'm going to give it just a little red tongue there. So I drew out the little tongue shape. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to just dip in the red and then orange for the nose. So that's just real easy, real simple. And then it has its little face. For the buttons, you can use anything for the buttons too. You can paint on the buttons too if you don't want to put anything else on there. But I'm just going to glue these little like black berry pieces to it for the buttons there, and then I'm going to glue everything together. But like I said, you can leave this separate and then like kind of take it apart. It looks cute taking it apart too, but I'm going to just stack mine together with the glue, and then I'm going to glue on the hat on top of there, making sure that piece that I wanted to come towards the front is at the front. And then for the scarf, you can use like a ribbon. I felt that was a little too thick. So I'm just going to take this fabric that I got from Dollar Tree in the crafters section, and I'm just going to cut a little thinner strip so it's not as thick. Measure that out for how long I want the scarf once it is tied. And then I'm going to use the extra fabric to go just across the hat. You don't have to put anything there. You can put some cute little greenery there too if you wanted to, but I glued that down. And that was basically it for our cute little snowman. If you like, give it a big old thumbs up. This Christmas wreath using items from Dollar Tree. So I have this Dollar Tree pinwheel wreath. I love these. You can paint these different colors too if you want. This ribbon is not from Dollar Tree, but you can get a bunch of ribbon from Dollar Tree. And then I have zip ties. I ended up not using those zip ties because they were a bit thick. I used the Dollar Tree ones for this, but you can just take and start zip tying your ribbon. And you can do this with the other ribbon forms from Dollar Tree too. It doesn't have to be the pinwheel one. And then what you're going to do is just beat it over a little bit about your fingertips length, if that makes sense. And then zip tie it again. So you're kind of making like little bubbles there. And then you're just going to keep doing that all the way around. So you see, I'm just going in and trying to make them about the same length, the same height. And you can do this with multiple ribbons if you want. You can do it bigger and you're going to get bigger bubbles. So when you flatten it out, you'll have like bigger coverage. If you're doing this with the other reform from Dollar Tree with the multiple layers, you can do this and do different colors on each one. You can do this in so many different ways. But once you go around, you'll just flatten it out like that. Well, not flat, but you'll just spread it out like that. And it covers up to where you put the zip ties on, and then you can reposition the stuff how you want it. Once I got towards the end, I did still have ribbon left. So you can see here, I had ran out of black, so I started using the red zip ties from Dollar Tree, but it's okay because they do get covered up as you open up the ribbon right there. So once I got to the end, I just made sure, everything was nice and everything overlapped and covered. And like I said, I had extra ribbon, so I went across with mine. You can leave this step out, but if you wanted to add like a cute little sign or something there, you can glue the sign, because I've done it before, just to that little circle in the middle of the pinwheel there, and it'll stay fine. But this just added like an extra little detail. So I went in between the ribbon, like where I zip tied it at. I went in between and just lapped it around so that it's in the front and the back. It doesn't really matter too much if it's in the back, because if you're going to be hanging it, you're not going to see the back. But just in case, I put it on the front and the back, and then open back up the things, cut off all of the zip tie little tails there, and then I glued it together because it's front and back and it's not connected, and I didn't want that little flap going there. So then I just put glue in a few places, and then just use some clothespins just to keep it closed while it dried. So once it was dried and everything was done, then I took those clothespins off and I finished doing the wreath. You can leave it like this, and it's just nice and simple. And like I said, if you did extra ribbons, then it would be a little fluffier, have more colors. I wanted to put a white bow there, but I didn't have any white ribbon, nor did I have a pre-done bow. But you can, I just wanted to show you, you can put a bow there. And then I have some faux florals, some faux greenery that gives like, kind of that Christmas feel. And I'm going to put those there. Okay, so you can glue these on, you can tie these on, you can add ribbon in the back, the not the red that I'm going to show you, but just the color that would go with it. You won't really see it once you put on all of your stuff, but you can add the ribbon just to make it a little easier to put the pieces down. And then for the acorns there, pine cones there, I tied those down, and that's how it came out. Time for Christmas in July, and I wanted to share these boho inspired Christmas DIYs that you can do. All right, so this one I'm going to be using a macrame cord. You can get this on Amazon. It comes in a big bundle. I'm going to be working in sections because you don't want to use too much at one time, because you can see it will start to get knotted up. But I'm just going to tie a knot. You can tape this down, makes it easier to work with, but I'm just going to braid the macrame cord. So this gives it a pretty detail. So this is not something too that you'll need a lot of skills or anything to work with, but you can still have that nice macrame look. So like I said, I'm just going to braid mine down into sections. You'll do enough. You can do them all at one time to cover the whole thing, or you can do them as you go along. But I'll get this reform from Dollar Tree. And now Dollar Tree has them in so many different sizes, so many different ways. And if you don't want to get the macrame cord, that's how it looks in the bundle, you can also use like nautical rope, something like that. And you'll get the same kind of effect here. Dollar Tree does have that in white, but I'm just going to glue mine down just to start off. You can tie it in a knot if you want, but I'm just going to glue mine down, let that dry in place, and then you can tuck that little tail that will be there once you start going along and wrapping it around. So I'm just wrapping it around, making sure everything is nice and close, and you can see the braids at like a nice little detail. I'm gluing it. You don't have to glue every section, but you'll just glue it every once in a while to make sure everything stays in place. And again, you want to make sure everything is nice and close so that you don't have little gaps in there, and then that way it'll look nice and it'll look finished. And because you're working in sections, once you're done with one section, so however long you took and you made your braided pieces, once you're done with one section, you can just glue that off and tuck it in, and then start the next section. You can also tie it together if you wanted to do that, but this way is just real easy and simple. And then again, you're going to make sure you start up nice and close. If you want to make sure that you don't have any gaps or anything like that, you can also tuck off your pieces in the back, so that all of those connections will be in the back. So you would just make sure you start it out like that. But I'm just hiding those tails again, and then just starting right where I finished off, trying to get as close as possible using just a little bit of hot glue. You don't want to use too much hot glue because you don't want the glue to be poking out at the top and showing through. But you'll just go all the way around till you're done, and then just kind of finish it off the same way. And you can do this on the whole piece. You can color these because macrame dip dyes so pretty. But once you're done, you'll just tuck off that end in the back, and then you can give it a little bit of hot glue to finish it off and make sure everything stays in place. And then you have this nice neutral color. If you leave it in the original color, you have this nice neutral colored piece. I have these little wood pieces, but now Dollar Tree has, I know last year at Christmas, they had a ton of nice little wood pieces and things like that, and then ornaments and different embellishments, berries, all kind of different stuff. But you can add as much or as little as you want. I put out a lot of stuff, but I only ended up using just a few pieces. But I just wanted to show you that you can do this in so many different ways. You can take these pretty little twigs. I got these from, I don't remember, Michael's or Hobby Lobby, one of those places. But all of them have a ton of great things around the holiday time. And then I have these little pine cones. Got these from the Dollar Tree. So they come on this little like a bushel here with berries and all kind of stuff. So you can use all of those pieces. You just remove it. I cut it off. I have the signage there. I have ornaments from the Dollar Tree. Just, you can do this, just like I said, a ton of different ways. You can do it as much or as little as you want. I'm going to figure out where I'm going to place mine, and then I'm going to hot glue mine down, but you can also tuck it in. You can do it so many different ways, but this is, I love making custom pieces, and this makes just a nice door hanger, a nice wreath for the holiday season. So I'm gluing down those pine cone pieces there, and then those little like sparkly twig like pieces, I'm going to use those. You see I have a big bow there if you wanted to put a big bow there, if you wanted to make a bow. You can do it in so many different ways, but this is just a nice, neutral, simple piece. My lettering did break. Michael's too has a ton of nice lettering. They've been coming out with so many nice pieces for different seasons, different holidays. So you can grab some of those too if you are looking right now and you wanted to get a jump and do some Christmas in July for yourself. But you can see I kept mine nice and simple with just the twigs, the pine cones, and the little signage. That was it. But you can add more. You can do more. You don't have to go as simple as I did go. Now, for this one, this is just a little wreath here. You can get these from Dollar Tree, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, all over the place. This one is a small one. You can do it in a bigger size. I have these little berries from Dollar Tree. They'll have these around the holiday time. My Dollar Tree has started putting out full pieces. So they do have some like this. They'll just be in different colors, but I'm just going to cut those off of the stems there. If you wanted to, you can leave them on the stems and just loop the stems in and out of the wreath also. You can do it that way if you did want to do that. But I'm cutting mine off of the stems, and what I'm going to do is just hot glue them down in those big bunches. I'm not going to cut them down any smaller or anything like that. I'm just going to use them in those bunches, and I'm going to alternate between the colors. You can do this in one color, and because they do sell these berries in all kind of different colors, they usually have them in white, like a creamish white, all kind of different colors. You can do this in a variety of colors, and you can also get these reforms in different colors too. You don't have to get it in that natural one. A lot of times they have it in like a darker brown one too, but I'm using this right here, and I'm just alternating. So I'm just going to play around, make sure it's laying kind of as flat as possible so the glue does stick to it. And that is really it. That's basically it. So you have these two boho inspired wreaths, and they are just so simple, but they are so pretty because the colors just sparkle. The little twig colors there sparkle, and then those little berry pieces sparkle there. So I hope they gave you some inspiration, and it was a good way to kick off Christmas in July, because these wreaths were two of my favorites that I did do, and they were just so pretty and so simple, and they can go in with a lot of different home spaces. And again, you can customize them to look how you want them to look and to fit in with your personal home decor style. And they don't take much work at all. They are really quick, really easy, and really simple. Oh, I want to know too, are you going to be doing some Christmas in July DIYs? Are you Let's make this easy. Two clothespin ornaments that you can make for Christmas. You can do these for other things too, but we're going to make them into ornaments. So for the first one, I'm going to make two of these, and these are going to be snowmen. So I'm going to take two clothespins. I'm going to take them apart. They're real easy. I got these clothespins from the Dollar Tree. They come in that big old pack right there. And then when you put them together, they look like that. So you can make a lot of cute little Christmas items with these clothespins too. I'll do more as the time goes on, but we're going to do these first. So I'm just going to paint them white. You don't have to worry about painting the bottom part, like the inside part, because those are going to go together. But I'm giving it a coat of white, getting in all of the cracks, and then letting that dry. Once it dries, then I'm going to glue them together, so each side matching. So I'm just, like you see, I didn't paint in the inside there. I'm just going to give it a light hint of glue. You don't want it to be too heavy because you don't want it to be uneven. You want it to kind of butt up as close as possible. So you don't want a big gap there. So just enough glue to keep it together. And then I'm going to take some black paint, and I'm going to use my little skewer just to make little eyes and little buttons for the snowman. Real easy, real simple. You can also do this with a pen or a marker if you don't want to do it like that. You can get real creative with this too. And then I'm going to take some orange paint, use the same skewer, and just create a little nose there, just drawing it out a little rough. And that is it, like really for the body and the face. And then just give it a little scarf. I have this fabric from Dollar Tree, so I'm just going to take and cut it big enough to tie it. You can make it longer. You can use scraps that you might have around. You can use twine, you can use a bunch of different things. But I'm going to take this twine and I'm going to put it on the back so that we have something to hang it because it is a ornament. And that is it for that one. And then now on to this one, we're going to make some reindeer. So we're going to use the same clothespins. We're going to take them apart. We're going to paint them the same way, wait for them to dry, and then we're going to glue them together the same way that we glued the snowmen together, with the sides matching up and the flat parts going together. So for this one though, you're going to need two clothespins for each one to make each reindeer, if that makes sense. So then I'm going to glue those together at the bottom parts and they create like a little V. Got these pack of eyes. You can get these from Dollar Tree. So they come in different sizes. I'm going to use the smallest size. I was going to use the other size, but it kind of looks a little buggy. And then I'm gonna use these beads. So I was debating on between that bead and then this bead. You can use a little pom pom. You can use a bunch of different things. You can paint a little nose on if you wanted to, but I went with like this square like one. And then I'm just gonna glue everything down. And then to make antlers, the antlers, I'm going to use some faux greenery from Dollar Tree. It's not seasonal, so you can just use any greenery that has like kind of that Christmas look. But they do have a lot of cute Christmas style greenery at Dollar Tree right now. So I took and cut some like matching sizes off of that because they come like 3 leaves on each one, and then I'm gonna glue that down, and then I'm gonna make a cute little bow to go in the middle. So I just took some ribbon and cut a small piece because I don't want it to be too big and overpower the little reindeer. So I'm just gonna make a little one and just close off the back and then pinch it together and then wrap it with some twine, if that makes sense. So I went around a few times and then tied it closed. And then I'm just going to glue it to the little reindeer. I also cut a piece of twine, just like I did for the other one, to be able to hang it. But that was really it. And you can do these in different ways. You can do it with different things for the antlers. You can leave off the bow if you don't want the bow. You can get really creative with this. And you can also match these with your own personal decor. You don't have to do that dark of a wood. You can do a lighter color. I had used like a chestnut one, or you can leave it in its natural state. You can do these in so many different ways, but these are just super cute, super easy, and these are fun for the kids to make too, to put on a tree this season. If you like, give it a big old thumbs up. Christmas decor piece using items from Dollar Tree. All right, so Dollar Tree has these little hoops. They come in a set. You can grab those, and then these calendars. So I have two different ones. I was trying to decide which one I was going to use, and you can do this for more than just Christmas. So if you're looking for fall decor, you can see they have different pictures for every month of the year. So you can do this for Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. You can do this just for spring, for summer, for fall, just all of the seasons. You see, you just put and pick a piece of the sign. If you get a bigger hoop, you can get a bigger piece of the sign. But you don't want to go too big because you're not going to have enough, because it's just a little bit bigger than letter paper. So yeah, you want to just make sure, or you can do this with a picture frame. You can do this in so many different ways, but we're going to be using the hoops. So I decided on going with this joy sign. I thought that was cute, simple, festive. But first I'm going to paint the ring. I'm going to paint it this chestnut brown color. You can use a stain. You can use a different color based on what your home decor colors are. But I just gave it one good coat. I went around the inside, the outside, and the top of it. The back of it doesn't matter because you're going to be putting that down. And then just to add a little more stability, I'm going to use the cardboard that came with the calendar just to make the backing of it. So I'm just taking and cutting it out the shape of the sign here. I measured from the inside and just cut a little bit bigger. If you have excess, you can trim that off. You can trim it to fit flush in the sign. You can do it a bunch of different ways. And then now I'm just going to measure out the calendar picture to fit on top of that cardboard piece of paper. I'm measuring that from the outside because I don't want to cut too little and then it doesn't fit. So I measured it just a little bit bigger so that I had that little space to play with there. And then I'm going to take it, I'm going to glue that down. I'm just using regular Elmer's glue to put mine down. You can use Mod Podge, you can use hot glue. If you use hot glue, you just want to make sure whatever glue you use, you spread it out so it's a nice even coat and you don't have like, if you use hot glue, you don't want those big lumpy bumpies, if that makes sense. So once that dries, then I'm just going to take and I'm going to put those two pieces together. So I'm just taking some hot glue and putting it around because my sign is just a little bit bigger than the inside. So it's just sit on top of there. I did come down too fast and it stuck so quick. So I had a little extra to the side, but that was okay. I just trimmed that off and that was no problem. So you want to make sure that when you are laying it down, you lay it down as slow as possible so that you can get it nice and centered and you don't have to worry about adjusting it after the fact. Like I had to do mine, but that is it for that part. And then you can just leave it just like that. You don't have to do this extra part, but just to make it, give it that ornament look, to give it that, Christmas vibe, you can go ahead and you can add a little top. You can use just a regular, you can find a bunch of pieces probably at Dollar Tree to make the little top, but I just cut mine out of that extra cardboard there. So I just freestyle a little piece right here. You can measure this out, but it just worked out just fine doing it that way. So I cut that out, then cut out the middle, and then I'm just going to give it a little coat of paint with some silver paint, because the ornaments usually have those cute little silver tops on it. And like I said, this is real easy, real simple to do. And the gray kind of goes with the joy mason jars that are in there too. So it kind of goes together. And then once that dried, I just hot glued that down. And if you wanted to jazz up your back, you could add some felt there and just make everything nice and pretty. But if you're going to hang this on the wall or something like that, you don't really need to do that. And you can also, I'm going to use mine as a leaner though, but if you're going to hang it, you can also hang it by that little ornament piece. I would just double up on those pieces. And then I just made a bow out of this plaid and this red here. I thought those went cute together. And again, I thought they complemented the sign that was there. So what I just did was just cut the ends on an angle, and these are wired bows too. So I just cut the end on an angle and then I scrunched it together and just added some twine and then tied it in a knot. I looped that around a couple of times just to, give it that twine look. And then I glued down some faux greenery to this and the bow, and that was really it. And then I had my cute little ornament sign. Like I said, I'm using mine as a leaner, but you can use yours to hang on the wall if you want. If you like, give it a big old thumbs up. Some easy Christmas DIYs that you can do using your own personal style. All right, so I don't know if you've ever seen these, but it's just like the ornament tree. So you can make these bigger. I'm going to make mine small. I'm just going to use a party hat for the shape. The ring is just to keep everything together, but you're just going to start at the base and you're just going to glue the ornaments together. I'm popping off the little top that holds the little strings, so when you hang it into the tree, and then I'm putting that part inward so that you don't see it. So you don't want that part poking out. You want that to be kind of covered in there, so covered up by ornaments. So you create your base and then you'll just build up from there. You can alternate between big ornaments, small ornaments, different colors. You can do so many fun creative things with this, but the point is just to make a ornament style tree. So it's really easy, really simple to do. Then you'll just run around gluing those to each other and to whatever you use to make your shape. You can also use one of those styrofoam cones from Dollar Tree to help you make this shape too. And then you can poke those little parts into there just to make it really, really secure, even though with all of this glue, it is really secure. You're going to notice that when you are putting these together, you will have a few little gaps. So if you don't want to fill in those gaps later, then you're going to want to use a base that is a color that you don't mind showing. Or you're going to do like I did when I got done with mine. And I just filled my little gaps in with some faux florals and stuff like that. Just like you would your Christmas tree, you decorate it with different little things. You can put a little topper on top to make it just look just like a little Christmas tree. You can go big, you can go small with this. I started out putting some little berries in there. And these are just like little tree fillers that you would use around the holiday time to put like in your Christmas tree, and you can just pop those off the stem. And like I said, faux florals, all kind of different things you can use to fill in those gaps, and then just to decorate your little ornament tree. And you can see this one I did kind of like a glam look, but it is so pretty, and it's just a tabletop sitter. So I put it in a little bowl, and that was it for that one. Now on to the next one. This one right here, so easy, so simple. I did this a long time ago. Now I have found some wooden gnomes from Dollar Tree. So I think I want to do this again, and I want to do it on a bigger scale maybe and frame it. But I took these little glitter stickers from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to take and kind of spell out home, but without the O, because I'm going to be using a gnome shape to fill in for the O part. So it's like gnome, home. But the only thing you want to make sure that you do is space the letters out the right way so that you have enough space to put in the little gnome. I just drew mine. I just sketched it out and just freestyled it. But like I said, now Dollar Tree has these cute little wooden gnomes that you can customize to fit in. But drawing a gnome is real easy. But I think the 3D look of it will look really cute. So like I said, I'm going to do this again, but I think I might do it on a bigger scale, like add some extra things. But for this one, I just sketched it out and then I went back in with some black paint and just painted that. I didn't give him any little outfit or anything like that. I just did this the little gnome shape. Only thing I really painted in full was his shoes and his hat. Just to finish off, the look. So this was like a nice, simple, kind of modern style look. So if you like, give it a big old thumbs up and make sure to follow for more fun and easy DIYs. Christmas tablescape centerpiece. All right, so I have some garland. This is wired garland, but you can use regular garland. It just won't be as bendable, if that makes sense. So I have this little scrap piece of wood here, and then I have these tapered candle holders that they came like in a set. So I have 4 of them, but I'm just going to use 3 of them, and they are the same color because they're like just in a natural state of wood. So they're the same color as this little piece, even though you won't see the piece on the bottom there. I'm just using it to center it. You can put the candle holders just in the center. You can use different type candle holders for this. And just when you're doing it, because you're not securing it to the garland, you're just going to want to move them separately. But I do keep it in the center while I'm making the centerpiece or the tablescape, because I just want to make sure that everything is set up the way that I want it to be set up, if that makes sense. So that's why I kept it in the center as I put together all of the pieces. But with the garland, I'm just going to it's like one piece, but it's 2 pieces on each side, if that makes sense. So I folded it in half and then folded it in half again. And then so there's multiple pieces on each side, and then you can fluff it out to look how you want it to look. You can make all the pieces look nice and neat. And then now I'm just going to fill it in with some ribbon to start out with. So I have this ribbon. It is not I, it's not like a thin ribbon. It's like a wired ribbon, so it has this cute little velvet on it and stuff like that. But you can use different type ribbon. You can use multiple ribbons. That would be really pretty too. But I'm just going to take it, I'm going to secure them with the garland itself. And that's why it's good to use like a wire garland, because I'm just looping them around and kind of just making like little bubbles with the ribbon, if that makes sense. So I'm pinching it together and then taking a piece of the garland and then just wrapping it around and secure it. And it secures it real nice. It keeps it in place, and then you can reuse the ribbon if you wanted to. After the season was over, you can take this apart and you can reuse all of the pieces because you didn't glue that on. You can also use zip ties if you wanted to use zip ties, but this works really well, so that's not necessary. So I went all the way around, and with this one piece of ribbon, one roll of ribbon, I was able to go around twice with this. But like I said, you can use multiple pieces of ribbon depending on what your colors are. I like to keep my colors nice and simple for the holiday, but depending on what your colors are, you can just get real festive with this, or you can just keep it real simple. So once I went around the second time, I kind of just crisscrossed it, if that makes sense. But you can see how I'm just going like over and under the pieces that I have already done there. And like I said, this was able to go around fully twice. And when I ended it, I just ended it the same way that I began it, with just securing it with a piece of garland, kind of tucking it in so that you don't really see it. So that part is real easy and real simple to do if you are using the wired garland. If you're not using wired garland, I would suggest then to maybe secure it with like zip ties or twisty ties, just something to help hold it in place, because you won't have that same flexibility with the pieces on the garland. But once I was done with that, then like I said, I came in and just filled it in with different little things. You can fill it in with ornaments. I did these little berries that I have, and you can get these from a bunch of different craft stores in different places. And I just pop them off the stem. And again, you can get these to go along with your color schemes. And then for the ornaments, you can attach them like you do to the tree and just hide how you tuck them in there, and then put the little metal pieces in the inside. outside. So this is real easy to do. And because these are taper candle holders, if you did want to light them, I rarely light like my centerpieces and stuff like that. But if you did want to light these, it would be elevated away from all of the pieces. So I have the faux florals. You can add a little faux Christmas greenery here just to give it like that lush green look if you wanted to. You can stack you can just go crazy with this. You can do so many cute little things. And this is just a fun way to decorate your table for the holiday season. If you like, give it a big old thumbs up. And then this is my favorite bowl. I change it up for every season and every holiday. So if you are looking for a piece that you can use so much, get yourself a dough bowl because dough bowls are so great. You don't have to get it in wood. They come in colors sometimes. You can get them at Home Goods. You can get them online, so many different places. But I'm just taking and I'm raising up these little candles that I got from the Dollar Tree. You can raise them up with anything. If you can raise them up with tiles from the Dollar Tree, you can raise them up with a little foam. You can raise them up with anything. And you don't even have to use candles. If you don't want, you can use different things. I don't actually light these candles because I'm going to be putting all kind of flammable things in here. So you don't actually light them. If you're going to be lighting them, then you want to put something that is flame resistant in there. You don't want to put paper and stuff in there. But I just filled up the rest of the space with paper so that I don't have to worry about filling in the whole bowl because the bowl is deep but not deep at the same time. So once I was done filling it, I just filled it with moss from the Dollar Tree. And the brightness of the green moss from the Dollar Tree is great for the holiday time because green fits in with your tree, with everything else. And this is just something really simple. And like I said, a dough bowl is great because you can change it up for every holiday, every season. So I just filled around all of the candles there. And then I just put a few little extra pieces. And this is like another kind of minimalist type decor piece. It doesn't have to be fuzzy. And you can use this too as a centerpiece. I usually just put this that in that space in between the kitchen and the living room. This is where it lives. But like I said, it does change for every season, every holiday. I just do something just a little different in it. And it's just something so cute. And it just adds that little extra pop and love this. And this is really something that can play around all winter because I didn't do too much to it. It's just the little pine cones and the moss. Real easy, real simple. And like I said, that can play all winter long. This, another centerpiece because I love a centerpiece. So I keep this one out on my table. And this is just a little tray that I got from Home Goods. I love the tile details that's in the inside. Again, I'm going to be using the garland and kind of just doing this to play off the garland. So I'm using the same type ornaments, wrapping them the same type way that I did the garland, and then the pieces go together. So you can make your centerpiece to match your garland. You can do all of your pieces and they'll just play into each other. You can do as much of the ornaments as you want or as little of the ornaments as you want. Again, I'm using my little bag of pine cones and you can get these from a lot of different places. Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has a lot, well, that I haven't seen this year's, but they do always have a lot of cute pieces for the season. Again, a little bit of faux snow in there just to give it that holiday look. And then you can fill the center with whatever you want to finish off the look. And then you'll have a cute little centerpiece. So this is just a way too to reuse a lot of the items that you have in your home. So a lot of my decor pieces are pieces that I can use all year around. So once you're done figuring out what you're going to put in there, and like I said, you can put whatever you want. You can do the ornaments, you can do florals, you can do pine cones, you can do so many different things. And this is another piece that will play around all year. So these are my coasters, which are just really tiles from Floor & Decor, but they're like this pretty neutral stone that I use. And then I filled it with these from Target Dollar Spot. And that's it. It's just real easy, real simple. And again, another one that you can really leave out all winter because this is just a simple winter piece Christmas DIY that you can do. So we're going to do a candle holder. So I just had that there for a reference so that I can see the size that I wanted to do it. But we're going to be using items from Dollar Tree. First, these cups, not the whole cup, just the base of it. You can see they go together, so they come apart and you get a few in a pack. This wood skewer also from Dollar Tree. My ornaments, I didn't get them from Dollar Tree, but you can get ornaments from Dollar Tree. You want to make sure they are the plastic like ones so you can do this to them. You're going to find the center of the bottom and you can just take your hot glue gun while it's heated and just make a hole. The best way to go in, I noticed, was from that way. If you try to go the other way, because you kind of push the hole inward, it doesn't really, it's not that easy to get it coming from the other way. So it's the best to do it when you push in the hole in, to put the skewer in the same kind of way. And then you're just going to stack them up as tall as you want it. Like I said, I was using that candle holder as a reference. So, the first one I did that size, and then the other one I did just a little bit smaller so I can have two different size ones. But I just wanted to show you that you can use any type of ornament, as long as it's like circular, it'll stack up nice. Because you see this one right here has little details on it. We have like the glitter one there, and then we just have the regular one. But you can see when I try to go the other way, even though the hole is big enough, it doesn't really go that way. So it's best to go the other way for it. So I stacked up about four with this skewer right here. And like I said, you can do it shorter, because I did a shorter one. You'll just snip off the excess of it. But I stacked up four, and then once I made sure I had everything the way that I wanted it to look, then I just went in with some hot glue and I glued the skewer into the base there. And then I glued everything together and the top piece on. This piece, the opening for the ornament, isn't as small as the skewer is. So it doesn't slide into the little base piece of the plastic cup. But if you use enough glue, or if you cut that piece off, then you'll be able to get it nice and flush. But I just used a ton of glue to get mine on. So like I said, I glued in the bottom and then just put some glue so that they can stay in place. You want to make sure that when you're doing this, because my skewer is a little bit smaller than the base hole that's there, you want to make sure you're doing it nice and straight, because if you do want to put a candle on there at the end, you want to make sure that it's able to hold up the candle and it's not leaning. So you want to make sure that everything is nice and straight. And you can see there where I'm putting a ton of glue, but I'm just also making sure it's straight. And you can see the little gap that is there, but that's going to be okay. We're going to fix that. And then I just spray painted the top and the bottom, but you can do this in so many different colors. You can do it with red, you can do it with green, because they have spray paint in so many different colors. But just to fill in those gaps, and you can do this with a bunch of different things. I'm just going to use some Christmas style greenery. So I just pluck those off of the stem, and then I'm gluing the base, and then you could sit and let that dry. It's dries better laying down, but you just want to make sure that it's to the glue so that it can dry in place. And then once that is glued, then you'll wrap it around and glue it down again, if that makes sense, the little tip at the end. Make sure not to touch it, the glue, and burn your hand though. But I glued down the base, and then once those dried, I came back in and I went all the way around and glued that down. And again, I had to hold it in place until it dried, but you don't want to touch the glue. You just want to like kind of hold it around it, if that makes sense, or put something there to just to help it stay down. But you want to make sure that the glue starts to dry before you let go so that it can stay down. And then this is how it came out. And like I said, you can embellish this in so many different ways. But if you like, give it a big old thumbs up. Easy Christmas DIY using those Jenga blocks from Dollar Tree. I have this scrap piece of wood. I think it was like from some scallops or something. It came in a pack, but you can use just regular scrap wood. Dollar Tree has the little planks and stuff that you can use to put for the base. You can use something else, or you can do it without a base because they will stand up by themselves. But I'm just going to take the Jenga blocks, and you're going to do it as big as you want. You can start out at the top, just making a little peak, and then going in and keep on going down. Once you get to the base of how big you want it to be, you can spread them out. You can push them in, and then you'll just put a base of the Jenga blocks there just to keep it together. And then I'm just using hot glue. You could use wood glue. You could use a combination of it. And then I'm going to glue them together. I'm gluing the bottom ones on an angle. So you'll probably have to hold it in place just until everything dries nice. But mine did fine. I just pushed them together and laid it flat. A little bit of glue to get on the table. But this table is easy on glue. So I was able to just adjust it. And then I adjusted it as I was gluing it too, so that it didn't stay solid. So I just went up to the top. And then once I got to the top, you can see it's kind of separated, but you can just push them together and then glue that. So you can adjust these to be different sizes, different shapes. I made two different size ones for mine. You can make a bunch and make a whole little scene. You can add some snowmen to it. It could be super cute. So this is how that one looks. And then I made another one. And then now I have two. I made them different sizes so that it can look like, I've seen these pieces in like stores and stuff. So it can look like that. I painted one red and I painted one white. I painted the base white too. I painted around all the edges. I didn't worry about the bottom because you're not going to see that. For the trees, I painted around the front, the back, all the pieces except for the bottom. You can do a kind of a two-tone look because you see the wood looks nice in there. So you can just like paint just the front and then have the wood on the side and then the inside, or you can paint the fronts and the sides and have the wood peeking out. You can do it a bunch of different ways. You can paint it in different colors to fit in with your scheme for the season. I have these little straw-like bows left over from something else from Dollar Tree that I popped off. So I'm just going to add some little ribbon detail to it. So I'm just making like a little rag ribbon bow. I forgot what you call it. But I just stacked up different pieces of ribbon and then I'm just tying them together with twine. And then I went around a few times and tied it a few more times and then cut off the tail of that. And then once I was done, I just stacked them together. So I just glued it to that little straw bow that was there. I was trying to find the right direction for it to go. And then I glued those also onto the top of the trees. You can hang little bells. Dollar Tree has like a pack of little bell ornaments. You can hang those in there. You can do a bunch of cute little different things. You can decorate this with florals. You can do so many different things. But I glued the trees onto the base. I glued one in the front, one in the back, and then I added the little bows. And that was really it. It is so simple, so easy. And like I said, you can customize this in so many different ways. So if you like, give it a big old thumbs up. Miss DIY that you might want to try. All right. So you can do these using old boxes like I'm doing, or you can do these using wood blocks. If you want to go down to the home or hardware store, you can just cut down to size some wood blocks. But I'm going to repurpose these boxes that I already have. So I have this old cracker box, and you can fill this with something if you want to make it a little bit heavier, but mine stayed just fine. And then I have some cornbread mix boxes and a shoebox. So I'm just going to wrap them with wrapping paper so you can make these to go along with your decor in your house. Just a cute way to decorate around your tree for Christmas. For the cornbread boxes, I'm going to wrap those together so that they stay in place. And again, I'm just going to wrap those with the wrapping paper. This wrapping paper, I love it. It's really pretty, but because of the glitter, you have to use a really strong tape to keep the pieces together. But this is how it came out. If you were using wood blocks, you can wrap them, or you could just paint them whatever color you wanted them to look like. But for them to look like gifts, I think wrapping paper is the best way to do this. So you just wrap them as pretty as possible, tape them closed. If would like, make sure the tape is like going towards the back of where it will be so you won't see too much of that. And then you can decorate them like it's like a nice, pretty wrapped gift. You can use bows. I'm going to use some twine, some ribbon, some faux greenery that you can get like from your local craft store. You can get from Dollar Tree, the twine from Dollar Tree. And it's just real simple. And I think the twine adds a little kind of rustic look to it too, but at the same time, it's still giving modern, if that makes sense. So I wrapped that around a couple of times and then I glued it off. And then I'm going to do all of them to coordinate with each other, but you can do them in different styles, different ways. You can make such pretty bows, especially if you're a good bow maker. You can do that, but you can just do this in so many fun different ways. So we have that one down with the twine, and then I'm just going to add like a little faux bow detail, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take the ribbon and I'm going to glue it in the center there where the twine has like met up, and then cut it and then have another piece on the other side. So it'll look kind of like a tail of a bow, if that makes sense. But if you're good at bow making, you can make yourself a really pretty bow right here and put that on top, or you can buy a really pretty bow and put that on top there too. I also have some ornaments that you can get from Dollar Tree, and Dollar Tree has just put out their Christmas stuff, at least my Dollar Tree has. They have a lot of cute little ornaments. So you can grab some of those, put those on there right now. But I just did it to go along with my personal decor that I had going on for the holiday. And this is how they came out. And this is real fun. And it just adds a nice little piece of decor for the Christmas season. Okay, let's make a quick and easy Christmas themed candle holder. You can do this for any holiday. So I have this candle holder that I got at like the Target closeout section. I think the piece is missing up top because it has a little thing. So I'm gonna take one of the Dollar Tree small reforms. They come in a pack of two, and I'm gonna take a piece of garland. You'll just need a piece big enough to go around this. So say double the size because you'll be wrapping it around. So this is real easy. I'm using garland that I got from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, but you can use garland from Dollar Tree. So you're just gonna just wrap it around just like that, and then secure it at the beginning and at the end, and then you can just play around with it, fluff it out, make it look nice and neat, and then it kind of just sits there on top because it's filled in. So if you have a candle holder like this should work really well. And then, like I said, I'm just playing around with it just to give it a little neatness. You can leave it just like that, but I do this with my tree too every year. You just add like a little bit of greenery just to give it just another look. So I'm just taking the greenery, that the faux greenery from like Christmas time, and popping those off the stem and then just poking those in. It's real easy, real simple to do. And you can do different types of greenery too and just give it like a real lush look. And then I'm taking these little beads that I had and these little flowers that I had. You can use little berries. You can use like little bells, you can use bows, you can use tiny little ornaments, you can use whatever you want to do this. And I'm just doing those just like the leaves, just popping those. And I decided to place it further down to make it easier to work with. But once I was done placing everything around, like I said, the beads, the berries, the flowers, all the different little things, and I have everything in place. And you can place them not just up top, but like in the front because you're going to be seeing this candle holder from different angles. And then I put a little lantern that I got from Target Dollar Spot in there with a candle, and that is how that looked. And it's just so pretty and simple. Or I put a glass vase from Dollar Tree in there, and that is how that one looks. So you can do this so many different. Another quick and easy Christmas in July DIY. All right, so I'm using this piece of board that I have, but you can use the signs from Dollar Tree. They are just a little bit bigger, and my letters are kind of small. And I have these packs of gnomes that I found at Dollar Tree just recently too. So I'm gonna paint the board this like off-white toasted marshmallow kind of color. I'm gonna give it a couple of coats. This would look nice with a crackling effect too if you wanted to do that. And then I'm going to paint the letters black, and I'm going to paint the gnome a few colors. This is easier than it looks, because when I first saw these, I was like, how do you section off the pieces to know what to paint? But once you get started, it is really easy. So I painted the beard white, and then I'm going to do stripes in the hat. You don't have to tape it off anything. You just use like a really thin brush, and then I'm going to come in with some red and just do the same in the stripes. And then I'm going to also paint the gift box red too. You can do like a ton of different colors on this. You can just do this in so many different ways. Like I said, this is really easy, and they come in a pack of 5, so you can make different ones, different colors. And probably if you find other gnomes, you can make this sign interchangeable too. But I'm going to do the outside of the hat green, just like the traditional Christmas colors here. So red and green. I thought that would be really nice. I painted the other box green. And then once everything dried, I painted his feet black and just put some other little black details on there. Once everything dries, I'm just going to place it on the board. When I figured out where I wanted to place it, I'm just going to hot glue that down. Just real easy, real simple. You can put drill little holes at the top of the board, or if you have a Dollar Tree board that already have the holes. But I'm just going to hang something on the back. I'm going to make a ribbon for this and bow. Bow out of ribbon. I'm just going to cut it into little strips and then fold them so that everything is centered, and then lay those centers together. And then I'm going to use a zip tie because this is going to be like a really full bowl. You don't really need anything in the middle once you do all that, because once you fluff it out, it kind of covers up where the zip tie is. You can just pick up a bow too and put that there. But I'm going to put that bow there. But before I do, I'm going to put down some faux greenery, just popping those off the stem. And I'm going to hot glue everything down. So first I'm going to hot glue down the faux greenery in place, like just kind of off to the sides, but not to the sides. And then I'm going to place the bow on top, which is going to cover up all of that I did with the faux greenery. So this is real easy, real simple. And if you already have the holes to hang it, you could be done right there, but I don't. So I'm going to just take some rope from Dollar Tree. Also, I'm just going to hot glue that on the back. I do this usually with twine, but it's just real easy. Just a lot of hot glue. You can finish this off with some nice ribbon to finish off, but it's a sign, so it's going to be hanging. So you're not really going to see the back, and you can cut the excess rope there. And this is how that came out. It is so easy, so simple, really quick. So if you like, make sure to give it a thumbs up and follow for more easy and fun DIYs. This one right here, so like I said, Christmas is all about trees. So this is like more of a glam type one. So I'm just taking one of the big poster boards from Dollar Tree, and I'm making a big cone, like a big tree cone. And then when I get to the end, just to close it off, I'm going to be using some hot glue right along the edge there. And then you just hold it in place until it dries. You can also tape this. I would use masking tape, because masking tape, has that it sticks. So stuff sticks to it after the fact. I didn't have any at that time, so I was just using the clear tape, but masking tape is gonna work better if you want to do that. Then I'm just gonna cut off the edge so that it's able to stand up straight. And you can do this in different sizes too. So if you wanted to do a little collection of these, you can do it in different sizes. So I'm just going to take some Mod Podge, and I'm going to cover this. You can do this as a glitter tree. You can do this so many different ways. You can wrap this in some pretty, like do a decoupage with this. You can do this so many different ways. But anyway, I'm going to be doing this a glam look. So I'm going to take some crushed glass. If you want a little more sparkle to this, you can add some like silver glitter to your crushed glass. And crushed glass does come in other colors too. So if you don't want to do it in silver, you can do it in other colors. But I worked in sections, and I just put on a good amount of Mod Podge, and then put on the crushed glass. You can lay it down and roll it in it. It gets a little messy if you try to do it that way. So pouring it on is the best way to do that. And then just taking the excess, pouring it back into the container, and just repeating the cycle there. But I did it all the way around. And then once you're done, you can let it dry. And if you see any missing gaps or anything like that, you can fill those in and then cover it with another layer of Mod Podge. You can also do this in a two-tone look. You can do this so many different ways, but this is just an easy way to make that type of piece. And then loop yarn is my favorite for Christmas time. So again, making a little cone treat. You can make the cone like I did before with like some cardstock or something for a smaller one, or you can take those party hats. I'm putting a base on it. If you're not going to be doing the wood stump, so I'm making a little base at the bottom. You don't have to do that, but I just cut a little circle piece of cardboard, and I'm just gluing that into the base of the hat. You can see I kind of changed the shape of the hat. So what you just do is you'll open them up and just roll it a little tighter, and then you can tape it closed, and you can have a more narrower shape if you don't want the big shape. And then I'm just taking and putting these little wood stumps that I got. Again, sometimes Dollar Tree sells these, but you can get these at craft stores and different places. These are a lot of times used for like bowl filler, but you can use them to make really pretty DIYs too. And if you wanted to, you can just leave these party hats are really kind of Christmas colored, so you can just leave it like that and have like a cute little tree set up. But like I said, I love the loop yarn, so I'm just going to take and I'm going to put it around the tree. And these come in different colors too. You don't have to just get white, but I'm going to take and I'm going to glue mine around the base of the tree, and then you can wrap it down and glue it as needed. And you can see it's so pretty, so fluffy, And it just makes like a really cute piece of Christmas decor. Now, if you want, you can decorate these with little pieces of decor. This kind of has like the rustic look with the tree stump, but I've done these in so many different ways. And like I said, they're so fun, so easy. Another little tree, because like I said, Christmas and trees go together, and you could just wrap the cardstock the same way that you did the big poster board, glue it at the end, cut off the bottom to make sure it stands up on nice and straight. So like these are real easy to make. And like I said, you can make these a ton of ways, especially if you have some nice pretty cardstock paper. You don't even really have to decorate them at the end. And this is just kind of like how we did the berry wreath. So you just take the little berries, and you get these at Dollar Tree too, but you can just take and glue these. You can do this with floral pieces. You can do this so many different ways, but I just took them in little bunches because they're easier to work with, and then just glued it down. And then you can take and fill in any empty spots that you might have, but it's just a cute berry tree. And I've also seen these on sale. A quick fun Christmas DIY that you can do using Dollar Tree items. So Dollar Tree has a ton of these little house shapes in the craft section. Love those. And then I'm just going to make little trees. I drew them out in advance, but I'm going to cut them with cardboard. But I'm going to cut out this as like my template, but you can just draw them straight onto the cardboard, or you could use wood trees. At the time when I did it, I didn't have the little wood trees, but then in the middle of doing this, I did go to Dollar Tree and I found some wood trees. But I cut mine with cardboard. Like I said, I cut the paper out as a template and then went and just used a postal box. You know, you get those free at the post office. And then I'm just using the template to cut out the cardboard. And I just wanted it to be thicker. Like you can paint a tree directly on there, but I just wanted it to be thicker, kind of elevated from the little house. And then I'm going to cover them in fabric. This plaid fabric I got from Dollar Tree, and this one I got from Dollar Tree too in the crafters section. They come like in little rolls. I'm going to glue that down. I wanted to use this ribbon. I thought it was wide enough to cover the other tree, but it wasn't. But it's like a pretty little like velvet. I don't know if you can see it, like the black parts are like a velvet. I thought that'd be pretty, but it wasn't wide enough to cover the tree. So I'm just going to glue it face down, put that down, let that dry, and then just cut around the outer edge, but enough to fold over. So it doesn't look the neatest when you do it, but you can always go back and you can clean up all of your edges. You can put some stop fray on there. You can burn the edges to make sure they don't fray, but you can do it in a bunch of different ways. But I just cut into it, folded it over, glued that down around all of the edges. Once I had the front glued on, I held it down, let it dry. Make sure you don't burn your fingers, because this fabric is like a little burlap, so it has like holes in it. So once I was done with both of those and everything dried, then I glued it down to the little house form there. And like I said, you can do a bunch of cute little things. You can do snowmen. You can do a bunch of cute little different things for this right here. Some 3D snowman might look good on this too. I might do another one. So, and then I have these faux greeneries. You can get these from Dollar Tree. And I have different ones that I'm picking. And I'm just going to do this on both sides. So once I picked out how I wanted it to lay out, I just glued them down individually so that they can stay. You can also staple them down if you want to. You just want to make sure that they're nice and secure. So once I was done gluing those down on both sides and I made sure everything dried, this is how it looks. And then I'm just going to put in the middle, you can put a bow. I put a big like Christmas style floral there in the middle. But like I said, you can put a bunch of different things. I put both. I put the bow and the floral piece. And I did another plaid, not the exact same plaid that's on the tree, but I think they play well together. So I just did like a basic little ribbon stack in different sizes together, real simple. And then I wrapped it up with some twine and then tied it in the back, cut that off. And then I'm just going to glue all of those down into place and then let that dry. Now there's a little hole. You can put this back as a hanger if you want, but I'm going to just close up that little hole there, real easy, real simple. Like, and then I'm just painting it with some gray just to cover that up. It's not a perfect color match, but I did a bunch of it so that it kind of blended in. And then I'm going to take this little rope. It's kind of thick. It's a little thicker than twine, but not as thick as the nautical rope. And I'm just going to take and put that around the edge of the plaid tree there just to give it just a little extra detail on there. So it's just real easy, real simple. I went all the way around, and then when I was done, I just cut it off. And again, if you wanted to make it really neat, you can like burn that, put some glue there just to make sure it doesn't fray. But that was it. You can also make this a sitter if you wanted to put a piece of wood behind it to make sure it sits up nice. This is the kit that I found with the trees in it after. So all of this comes in a little kit. It's super cute. It's like it's in the Christmas section with like a craft, project that you can do with the kids and stuff. And then they sit in this little stand right here. So you can make like a little nativity scene. You can do a bunch of different things with this. They have different ones too. And then they have these stickers. I'm going to end up using some of these stickers for the wording because thought a little wording here would look cute, or you can also cut something out with your Cricut, but I went with the Mary, and then this is how it came out. So easy, so simple, and you can customize this in so many different ways. If you like, give it a big old thumbs up. I love loop yarn for doing DIYs because it's just so nice and fluffy. So let's make this Christmas wreath using loop yarn. I had got mine on sale. I liked it because it had like that ombre multicolor look to it. And then I have a wreath form from Dollar Tree. This is just real easy, real simple. And this is like a beginner friendly wreath making DIY too if you are new to wreath making. All right, I'm weaving mine in and out. You can just tie it in a knot if you want to. You can glue it to start it off, but just start it off however you feel comfortable with. And then you're just gonna wrap it around, but you're gonna make sure that it's nice and close. And that is really it. It does all the work for you to loop yarn because it's just, like I said, so nice and fluffy. And you can see how the colors change, just so cute in this. So almost all of the reform was covered with that one pack of yarn right there, but I did need to add just a little bit more, so I'm just finishing that off the same way I began the first one, and then I'm just going to start the next one the same way that I began the first one, just looping it in and out. Again, you can tie it in a knot, you can tie them together, but when you're weaving it in and out like that, unless I don't know what could happen because it's like kind of tucked in there, that would unravel it. So it's kind of secure. So at the end, when I was done and everything was all finished, I did tie it together and then I just tucked the pieces in the back and that was it. This is so pretty and the colors give it a modern look, but you can have a more festive look if you find you more festive colored loop yarn. I'm just going to take some Christmas style decor and decorate this. So pine cones, these are great for fall though too. And then these ornaments from Dollar Tree, and then these faux florals from Dollar Tree, and little glitter twigs also from Dollar Tree. And you can just decide where you want to place these. You can tuck them in. You can glue these down. For the pine cones, they are kind of heavy. So I didn't think the glue would hold it, especially since the yarn is not like a flat surface. So I tied those down. And then you can just hang this with a wreath hanger. And that is it. You are ready to go. And you have your own custom fluffy looking Christmas wreath. And now for this one right here. Okay, so another loop yarn because I like loop yarn. This one is just a solid color, but you can use some fun festive colors if you did want to. I'm just gonna take some cardstock paper. I don't want both of the trees to be the same size, so I cut this paper in half, and then I'm going to use the full piece of the other paper. If you wanted a bigger one, you can use the what do they call those, presentation boards? You get it from Dollar Tree or you get it from Target in the school section or someplace like that. But you can use one of those to make this, or you can use one of the styrofoam cones. You can do this a bunch of different ways. But I had cardstock paper, so I'm just going to roll that up and then tape it closed so it's real easy and simple. Once you have your cone shape, you just want to cut the bottom to make sure that it's flat and everything can stand up straight because you want to be able to have these standing up. The big opening right there doesn't matter because it's going to be covered with the yarn. So just to secure the yarn in place, I just put a little bit of glue in the inside and then I start wrapping the yarn around, not too tight because you don't want to change the shape of the paper, but you do want to put it close together so that you don't have any gaps and you don't see anything inside. Once you get to the top, I just glued that down and then finish that off. And that's really just it. And then you can just snip off the extra right there and you have you a cute little fluffy style Christmas tree. And then I went on and I did the other one the exact same way. You can do these in different colors. You can have so much fun with this. Like loop yarn is the perfect, you can even make like little fake snow with loop yarn. You can do so many things. So for DIYs, get some loop yarn for the holiday season. And then I just decorated them with these little berries. I took these off. You can glue these on in place. I put a few little bows on there. And that was it. I had my cute little Christmas tree. So if you like, follow for more fun and easy DIYs. A super easy way to make a tabletop tree for this Christmas using those trees from Dollar Tree. All right, so I have these from Valentine's Day, so they're pink. I thought they were cute and kind of do like a candy lamp theme, but they have them for every holiday. They have different colors. I zip tied two of them together, and I'm just taking this container that I have. You can use like a vase, you can use a bunch of different things, but I like this one. It's for like the kitchen. I got it at Home Goods, but I just turn it around because I like the stone on the other side, and then I'm just filling it with paper. You can fill it with foam, and then I put those two trees that I zip tied together in there. And then I'm just gonna kind of fluff them out. You can use more than two trees too if you want like a really full look. You can use three. I have this little gingerbread that I got from Michael's. You can get those things for your tree and stuff, and they have them in little bins and stuff, and they usually are on sale every time they come out. Mine broke, but I just hot glued it back together. And the little crack is fine because it's like a little cracked gingerbread cookie. And then I have this little donut that has like some pretty colors in it too. And then I'm just going to take some ornaments. You can get these ornaments from Dollar Tree. You can use old ornaments that you might have around. And I'm just going to place them in there and just decorate it like you would decorate a regular tree. This is real easy, real simple. The little picks that you would put in your tree, you can put those in there. And then you can make these to go along with your decor at home. I wanted a little pop of color because I don't know if you can see like in the donut and stuff, and then the gingerbread, there's like little pops of color. So I'm taking these pumpkins from Dollar Tree and I'm going to paint them like a teal kind of blue. I gave it a couple of coats of that, but you can just leave it like that. You can do like little snow effects on things. You can do like a bunch of cute little things to give it a cute look. But this is how it came out, and just a simple way to add some decor to your home for this Christmas season. Now for this one. You're not going to need to do this part if you're using the garland like I have, but I just wanted to show you that you can make these little circles to make your own little wreath, the shape that you want it. I was using these plates, but they're not that sturdy for this wreath. But if you're using like a Dollar Tree garland, it's going to be thinner, so it'll be easier to wrap around. But I just took mine, cut mine in half, and then I put the plates to the side. Again, you can use cardboard, different things like that. But you see mine holds a good shape without it. So I'm just making it into a circle by wrapping one of those two pieces that I did cut from the garland. You can even cut this into more pieces because it doesn't have to be that thick. But this is what I did. And then once I did that, I shaped it the way I wanted to shape it. And then took some little faux greenery. Again, pieces from the Dollar Tree, pieces from Michael's. These, different pieces you can use to fill it in. You don't even have to really do that part. But it just gives it like, an extra look when you just add in more little greenery, more little details. And it makes it cute. So you can hot glue these pieces in so that they stay. But you just play around with the placement, see where you want everything. You can cut these berries into little pieces like I did so that, it's not big pieces in there, just, cute little pieces. And again, once you have the placement, you can hot glue it. Now you can take these singular and just drape these on the back of chairs with the ribbon, and it'll look real pretty, for the Christmas season. But I'm making like a wreath piece, and then I'm connecting them with the ribbon. I don't know how to make a bow. I say that again. So I did something just simple with the top. And then you can hang these with a wreath hook, which you can also get from the Dollar Tree. It does look better hanging on a door. This is my little display area. So it doesn't have that full drape to it, but this is how it came out, and I hope you enjoyed. A super easy Christmas DIY that you can do using Dollar Tree items. All right, I have this picture frame that I DIY'd before. It was like that gold right there. And then I did some stuff on it. This was like a long time ago. But I'm going to use it to make this easy Christmas DIY. I took out the glass and the back. And then I'm just going to wrap it with this ribbon I have. It is a wired ribbon. I don't think I got this from Dollar Tree, or did I get this from Dollar Tree? But I got this last year. But I'm just going to take and wrap it around. I'm just going to try to wrap it nice and snug. You don't want to do it too loose because, then it'll move around. And then just when I get to the corners, I'm just going to just same way wrap it around the corners. You could secure this with glue, but if you do it tight enough, You don't really need glue to do it. You can glue it at the beginning and at the end to secure it if you want, but you don't really need a lot of glue. So once I was done wrapping it all around, I'm just gonna glue it in the back just to secure that and cut off the extra. So it's real easy. And you can do this with burlap. You can do this with so many different things. But I'm using the ribbon to give it that Christmas type feel. And then I have these faux greeneries and I just pop them off the stem. And these are like Christmas theme ones. I have different type ones, but they're all kind of the same, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to place those around. Once you decide where you want to place them, then you can hot glue those into place. You're going to want to hold it a little bit because it takes time for it to secure to the fabric from the faux greenery. At least mine did. So I just held it in place for a little bit, and then I had this amount on there. I did go back and I added more, but it looks perfectly cute with just this. And then I took this ornament that I also got from Dollar Tree and a lot of glue, and I held that down till that dried. And this is how it came out. So quick, so easy, and so simple. Dollar Tree centerpiece tablescape for Christmas. Okay, so I have these little trees because Dollar Tree has the trees for all the seasons. I have these left over from Valentine's Day. I have three of them. You can use two of them. You can put them together like that, and then it'll have that space in the middle. Or if you put them closer together, it'll be shorter, but there'll be full coverage, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to attach them with some zip ties, and then you can use as many as you want. You can use something else if you don't want to use the zip ties, but I find that the zip ties work really well. And I also have folded up the branches, so kind of it has like a flat bottom, so all of the branches are going upward. Now for the third one, I'm going to take it, I'm going to put that in the center just so we can have some of those pieces in the center, because I don't have the little, like, with the little sprigs you put into your tree, the extra ones. I don't have any pink ones. So just to keep it all pink, I'm just going to put that third one in the middle there. And then I just use the zip ties to put that down too. Once it was nice and secure, then I just cut off the tails of the zip ties, but you want to be careful not to cut off any part of the little tree there. And Dollar Tree, like I said, has these trees in different colors. I know Christmas stuff is coming out now. So they'll have these in white and then in green. So you won't be able to find the pink if you didn't get the pink before at Valentine's Day. And then for the middle, I'm going to put something near the middle. You could put a bunch of different things. I'm going to use this cone. I thought about adding some snowmen and making like a whole little scene, but I just kept it real nice and simple. I'm taking this ribbon, and you can get ribbon at Dollar Tree too. You can get it at Michael's, at Hobby Lobby, all the good places. And to secure it in place, I'm just going to wrap it around the branches, or wrap the branches around the ribbon, if that makes sense. So just, you want to wrap it so that it's nice and secure. You can give it a little tug to make sure it won't go anywhere. And then we're kind of doing like a little bubble ribbon, kind of like you would do with a wreath if you were doing like a wreath. So I'm just taking a little section, like folding it up so it creates like a little bubble, and then taking to secure it to the piece, just wrapping around the branch. And then I'm just going to keep doing that all the way around. So the front side and the back side of it, you can do like a bunch of different ribbon kind of details on this. You can go ahead and you could do it without the ribbons, but I just think the ribbons add like a cute little touch to it. And this one is like a nice sheer one, so it's a light little detail. You can do double ribbons too. That's like a nice pretty look. But you can do this in so many different ways to fit in with your style. If you're doing more colors than pink, you can add in different colors. You can do like a candy lamp theme if you have the pink ones, but this is so nice and so simple. So once I did the ribbon all the way around, like I said, the front and the back, then I'm just going to add little pieces. All right, so you can get these pieces from like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, different places. I'm just going to cut them. They come together like in that bunch like that. I'm just going to cut those, and then I'm just going to take these off the stem. These are so cute. They have like a little sparkle to them, and I had them in my tree. So you get these and you put these in your tree, to fill in your tree. And then I have these ornaments too, and I'm going to take it, I'm going to secure those just like you would secure it to your tree. You would take either the string, or you would take and you would put it in the little piece and then secure it with the branch. You can add in a bunch of different things to fill this in. I just use those simple things to fill mine in. Like I said, you can do like a candy lamp thing. You can do so many cute little things with this. So this is how it looks so far. And then for the middle, like I said, I was going to do like a whole little snow theme with this. Like, I'm making a Christmas tree. So I have this cone from the Dollar Tree and then this loop yarn. And then I'm just going to take and I'm going to glue it down in little black pieces because I had did something else and I didn't have enough for it. So I had to tear it off. But so yours won't come with a little black piece on the end. But if you run out before you finish, you can just take and you can just start again. This is real simple. And it kind of creates like that like snowy type look. To me, it does at least. And I just went all the way up to the top and then glued that down. And then I'm just going to decorate it once I'm done, just like you would decorate the tree. So you can, I'm just putting these little, you can see the little balls over there. And those are part two of like a Christmas little sprig that you would put like in your tree or you would put in your wreath or something like that to decorate. So I'm just going to take it, I'm going to cut the little balls off at the end of those too. And you can find these type pieces a lot of places, or you can just use really tiny little ornaments. They do have those. Dollar Tree has some of those too. And then once you're done, you can glue everything down to make sure everything is nice and secure. So you can glue everything into place once you have figured everything out. And then this is how it is. It is so simple. And you can do this in different colors, different themes. If you like, give it a big old thumbs up. And
so today we're going to be doing some more Christmas in July pieces. These are going to be some easy pieces. This is a leftover or repurposed frame that I had. It's a canvas frame that I did a reverse frame on, and I'm just repurposing the DIY project. But you can do this with an old picture frame. You can do this with different things. But like I said, I'm using this old canvas and just some wallpaper from the Dollar Tree. So if you have a clean surface, it'll be easier to do this because it'll stick down. Mine was a little bit bumpy because I am repurposing it. But I'm just going to take the wallpaper from the Dollar Tree and I'm just going to line it up. I thought about it after the fact because it did leave up, you can see a little line when I match them up, that I should have put the line towards the center. So I should have took space from one side and the other side of the wallpaper. But it wasn't that big of a deal. But if you want, you can just scooch it over so you make sure that the line is going to be in the center. Or if you use a smaller frame, then you won't have a line. But I hot glued mine down because, like I said, my surface was a little bit uneven because I'm repurposing it. But then you have that. You can also paint it. You can do this so many different ways. And then I'm just taking some ribbon that I had from Christmas time, but I didn't use. But you can use any kind of ribbon, or right now you could just go down to Michael's or Hobby Lobby or someplace, and then I'm just going to glue it in. Don't do this step yet if you're going to use a wreath. Initially, I had intended on using just old garland that I had and wrapping it around, but I changed my mind at the end and I changed it to this little wreath that I had already made and another DIY. So you can decorate this any kind of way, but this is how it turned out. Okay, now for this one, another simple Christmas in July one. All right, so for this DIY, we're going to be using products from the Dollar Tree. This is another repurposed piece. It is a hula bra, like the top for the hula bra, and just some skewers from the Dollar Tree, and then some bowls that I had left over, again, from the Christmas time. But you can probably find bowls in the party section for different things, and you can just do the same thing. I'm taking the skewers, and I've done another one of these before too, and another Christmas DIY. But this one is if you don't have the wreath, like the little ring base that I had, you can use something else circular. I just wanted to show you. And I'm just starting with the 4 base points of the Christmas tree that I'm making here. And once you glue those, it'll be easier to build on top of it because you need to get that little peak going. So you'll have to hold, for a little bit longer in the beginning. But once you get into the groove, you can fill it in as much as you want. If you want to stuff it with something, you would leave an opening and put those things in there beforehand. You can hang little ornaments. You can do things like that. But before you finish closing it up. But I'm not going to put anything in the inside of this one, but just to let you know, you can do that. And then I'm filling in the little holes because the little bra has little holes. I'm just filling those in with glue. You can fill in them with caulking. You can fill in with different things, or you can just leave them if you want. And then I'm just hot gluing. I'm cutting off the little twisty parts of the bows and just hot gluing them on, kind of decorating. If you wanted to leave the bows the color that they were, you would just paint this first and then put the bows on. But I wanted everything to be one color because I'm making like modern Christmas decor. So once I was done and everything dried, then I just put a little bit of spray paint on there, and this is how it came out. Now for this one, another simple one. So Christmas decor does not have to always be so much work. It can be something nice and simple. I had these little lights. Unfortunately, I had these since last year. I never checked them because they had the little plastic piece in them, and I thought they would all work. Only one of them worked. Sad face. So check them. If you're going to buy them, pull a little thing out and just check them. You can paint this all kind of different ways, but I'm just choosing to stain mine with the stain there that I had, and I'm just going to paint the whole thing or stain the whole thing with this color because, like I said, I like simple, clean, modern Christmas decor, and I just think this is something cute that you can do. So I stain them, and then just imagine them if they all lit up. Like, that would be so cute. You can decorate these with little things like little flowers, little Christmas ornaments. I had these little berries left over. You can decorate these, the top of them, the bottom of them, whichever way you want. But I'm just going to leave mine plain, like I said, and take this little Lazy Susan that I got from Target Dollar Spot. And I'm going to take the garland that I was going to use on the other project and just, because this is from a leftover wreath that I did make last year. And I'm just going to take it and wrap it around the outside because there's not a lot of space in the inside. And take some other DIY projects like that Christmas tree there and just decorate this so it's a nice centerpiece that you can make super easy with products from the Dollar Tree. So that was it for today. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you in the next one.